let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming in tails, heads on the sides.
So aphasia is a problem that is caused specifically by damage to the left hemisphere of the brain. Now, if we take a look at this brain right here, this is actually somebody's brain, and everything that we've highlighted there in red has been removed. This person had a stroke, and as a result, has major brain damage. Now, this is the left hemisphere, which is dominant for language. So you can imagine, and this person now has a very difficult time with speech and language. Aphasia really affects 4 different things: auditory comprehension, speech production, reading, and writing. Now, there are different constellations of problems or impairments of these modalities based on, where the lesion was, where the size of the damage that occurred. But by and large, people with aphasia have problems with these 4 things. But what does a person with aphasia sound like? I want to give you a quick example of somebody who has aphasia and is trying to tell a story. As a matter of fact, that's that person whose brain you see right there.
Cinderella, yes. Yes. Small. Dress, no. Clothes, no. Makeup, plain tail. Plain tail. Yes. Cinderella, yes. 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 Paul. Paul, yes. Paul, yes. Paul. Yes. Four. Tires. Paul.
Back as we are. Nobody said it was easy. Oh, it's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start.
People who have aphasia with a stroke will get a fair amount of recovery, but sadly there are probably something like 300,000 or 400,000 people in the States who have a permanent expressive aphasia, and language is so central to human existence, and sometimes people with aphasia are regarded as dumb, in both senses of dumb. But they may have all their intelligence intact, but it can be tormentingly frustrating.
So it's over.
So Arvilla, you have aphasia?
Yes.
Does that make it hard to talk?
Yes.
Now, you had a stroke?
Stroke.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it was
Far away.
a long time ago?
Yes.
Yes. And so you come for speech therapy?
Yes.
So what would you say about aphasia?
No.
A few weeks ago, I saw a video on YouTube of Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords at the early stages of her recovery from one of those awful bullets. This one entered her left hemisphere and knocked out her Broca's area, the speech center of her brain. And in this session, Gabby's working with a speech therapist, and she's struggling to produce some of the most basic words. And you can see her growing more and more devastated until she ultimately breaks down into sobbing tears, and she starts sobbing wordlessly into the arms of her therapist. And after a few moments, her therapist tries a new tack, and they start singing together. And Gabby starts to sing through her tears. And you can hear her clearly able to enunciate the words to a song that describe the way she feels. And she sings, in one descending scale, she sings, "Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine." And it's a very powerful and poignant reminder of how the beauty of music has the ability to speak where words fail. In this case, literally speak. Seeing this video of Gabby Giffords reminded me of the work of Dr. Gottfried Schlaug, one of the preeminent neuroscientists studying music and the brain at Harvard. And Schlaug is a proponent of a therapy called melodic intonation therapy, which has become very popular in music therapy now. Schlaug found that his stroke victims who were aphasic could not form sentences of 3 or 4 word sentences, but they could still sing the lyrics to a song, whether it was "Happy Birthday to You" or their favorite song by the Eagles or the Rolling Stones. And after 70 hours of intensive singing lessons, he found that the music was able to literally rewire the brains of his patients and create a homologous speech center in their right hemisphere to compensate for the left hemisphere's damage. When I was 17, I visited Dr. Schlaug's lab, and in one afternoon, he walked me through some of the leading research on music and the brain, how musicians had fundamentally different brain structure than non-musicians, how music and listening to music could just light up the entire brain from our prefrontal cortex all the way back to our cerebellum.
Come bursting the clouds, amen. Lift off this blindfold, let me see again. And bring back the water, let your ships roll in. And my heart, she left a hole. The tightrope that I'm walking just sways and ties. The devil as he's talking with those angels' eyes. And I just wanna be there when the lightning strikes and the saints go.